moment. Just trying to get everything situated. And we fine.
Yeah, of course, all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And this could be a little live show. One thing I wanted to, chime in on, man, is I was just watching for a few minutes. I was just tuning into this. What is this cat? This GMS Australia. Right, I was just tuning in there for a few minutes because one brother sent me a comment and told me that they were talking about me. So I went over there because I keep in mind I just took a shower, right? So as I'm getting out of the shower, I turn my phone back on. As to get a message saying, "Oh, they're talking about you." It's like, "Oh, okay." So I go over there, and apparently they're talking smack about me. And again, I don't know why, because I'm not hating on the brothers, right? I never said that I hate the brothers or nothing like that. I never said that. So I don't know, what they have against me. And it's funny because I asked them that and they really don't know, right? They can't give a precise, answer on it. They're just sitting there talking shit. Excuse my language. Okay, but they're just sitting there talking. You ask them, okay, well, why do you feel that way? They don't know. I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Uh, Let me hit these comments. Shalom to everybody who's tuning in on the comment board. We got Ridge and Napper. Shalom. We got King Manny. Welcome to the chat. Got Sacramento Truth Movement. Welcome to the show. So first question first. Ridge asked, what's your thoughts on the Catholic University making George Floyd Jesus painting? I seen that. I believe it was your channel. You uploaded a video with that. I didn't get to see the video, but I did see the thumbnail of the video, man. I mean, yeah, that's I don't know what the hell they're doing that for, man. Okay, I don't know what the hell they're doing that for. Right? That's even though Jesus is black according to the scriptures. But I mean, I don't know why they're putting George Floyd there like that. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if maybe they're doing that to get attention or something like that. And answer Sacramento Truth Movement, he asked me, I'm going live later. Can you join? Hey, look, man, if you can go live within the next half an hour, I'll be able to join you for a little bit. But I can't be on for too long tonight. But if you go live within the next half an hour, I'll be able to stop by for a little bit. But I'm not gonna be out for too late tonight. It's actually pretty damn cold, man. Let me see. Jay said he's bearing false witness, making up so much assumptions. Luke sent me that video over Twitter. Yeah. As I said, man, I'm not hating on the brothers, or I should say, the brothers. Inside joke. I'm not hating on the brothers over at GMS Australia, right? I'm not hating on those brothers, but I don't know why they sit there and have a negative output towards me. I ask them, well, why do you feel that way? They don't know why. They're just saying that. You know what I'm saying? It's it's a shame it has to be that way. Because the scriptures speak about if it were possible, be at peace with all men, right? If it were possible, be at peace with all men, right? So I'm not the one who's want to, sit here and make it, into some type of like controversy between, myself and GMS. I'm not trying to do that, right? I've never, came against the brothers and said I hate the brothers. I never said that. So I don't know why they're sitting there acting like that. They're acting like a bunch of children, acting like a bunch of little ass kids is what those brothers are doing, man. It's like, come on, grow the hell up. You know what I'm saying? And then if you notice, I went over and I said in the chat room, it's like, hey brother, look, if you have beef with me, come over to the channel. I'll put a link in the chat and you can join me and we can have a friendly discussion on why you feel that way. And they're not man enough to do it. It's like, okay, cool. So I mean, you know, And excuse me, because it looks like it cuts out every few minutes because the internet, I'm using, what is it? The mobile data, right? So once in a while it will cut off on me. So I apologize about that. Bridge asked me, do you believe George Floyd was a martyr? I mean, I don't know if George Floyd was a so-called Christian or not. You know what I'm saying? Because if I remember the whole circumstance, didn't they if I remember, because I believe I watched the unedited footage of the George Floyd situation back when that happened. If my memory serves me correctly, they were stopping him for something, and then it got out of hand, so they ended up bringing him out of the car, and they put their knee on his neck or something like that, so it wasn't able to breathe. If my memory serves me correct, that might have been a different case, but I swear that was the George Floyd footage. So to answer that question, I would say no. Let me see. Shalom to Luke joining in, right? Sincere shalom to that, brother. And thanks for sending me the GMS Australia heads up, because I didn't know what they were doing at the moment. Let's see. Sacramento said he got mad at me because I said he looks like the Zimbabwe Superman. Hey, this brother got jokes for days, man. Oh man, yeah. Luke said GMS Australia is going off. Yeah. As I said, man, I'm not hating on the brothers, right? I'm not hating on the brothers in GMS Australia, but I mean, it's like, well, what's your beef that you have with me? It's like, what the hell did I do to you? I didn't do nothing. They're just repeating something that someone else told them. That's all they're doing. And I'll give an example. There's another brother out there. I forget his YouTube channel name, but he's one of the another, GMS guys. And when he talks about me, he brings up, oh, that guy, he put GMS on his name, to try to cause division. And here's the story behind that. If you go back a couple years ago, I asked, the apostles, could I put GMS on my name? Right. And Dahar said, and he didn't just say that to me. He said this to a lot of the brothers, right? Hey, look, as long as you're teaching the doctrine, you can add GMS to your name, right? That's what they say. As long as you're in the spirit, teaching the same thing, you can put the name on your YouTube handle. That's what they say. Go ask them today. As long as you're teaching the same doctrine as GMS, you can put the GMS on your panel. And that's cool, right? So what happened with that, this is a few years of history with me and GMS here. So what happened was they tried to make it look like, oh, well, this guy just put it there to try to cause confusion. And of course, that's not true. So then what happened was, they asked me, okay, brother, we'll take it down off your page. And the Ramlod told me, hey, look, man, hey, you're cool, man. Just, take it off, go do your thing. That's what a Ramlod told me. And then I said, oh, okay, brother, that's cool. I'll take it off. I'll respect what you asked me. And I'll go do my own thing. And hey, look, here I am 5 years later. And I've been doing my own thing ever since. Say, hey, look, nobody got shit to say to me because I did what the apostles asked me to do, right? Apostle Ramlop asked me, hey, look, man, go do your own thing. And, we can keep it moving, right? There don't have to be any type of hate about it, right? Just, hey, take GMS off your name. And, you go do your own thing and we'll keep it moving, right? And I did that ever since. And I've been doing my own thing for the last 5 years since it happened. And I'm not hating on the brothers, right? I'm not hating on GMS. That's why if you ask me a question about GMS, I'm not going to, start to, curse them out and wish death upon them and, all types of evil. I'm not going to do that. Why? Because that would be wicked to do that. Because there's no reason to act that way, right? I'm a man, so I would like to operate like a man, right? There's no reason to act like a child. There's no reason to be doing that, right? So that's just a little, history with that. They try to bring that up to make me look like I'm the bad guy. But yeah, the ironic thing is they say that as long as you're doing what they do, that you can put it on your page. So I did that, and apparently that's a problem. man, cool. If you're sincere, you might be sincere, but hey, go do your own thing. And I did that ever since for the last 5 years. I've been doing my own thing. So as I said, man, hey, look, nobody has shit they can say to me, all right, because I've been doing it on my own, man. Nobody has nothing they can say on me, and that's just what it is. Bear with me a second. Let me see real quick. Right, Luke makes a good point. He said, the world is falling apart. We have GMS Australia going off, right? It's like now that out of everything that's going on, in the world, it's like, why the hell take 10, 20 minutes out of the day to come and roast somebody else? It's like, well, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? Why interrupt their lesson just to talk shit about someone else? It's like, come on, doesn't make any damn sense. Let me see. Luke said they were going off with the Romans 13. Yeah, GMS is going off with the Romans 13 breakdown. And I'm not hating on the brothers, right? So don't get that wrong, right? Don't get it twisted, right? I'm not hating on the brothers just because I have a civil disagreement. And that's where they also go off, because it's like, oh, if you disagree with us on one topic, that means you're a damn devil demon. It's like, come on, what the hell are you talking about? As far as Romans 13 goes, that's talking about the governors over Israel, is what it's talking about. That's not talking about obeying the government, because if that's the case, it's like, okay, cool. So by logical deduction, if that's the case, well, that means that that you have to take the juicy juice, right? You got to take the juicy juice then. If Romans 13 is talking about obeying the government, so when they tell you that you got to take that juice, hey, well, I'm going to bring up, hey, wait a second, brother. Scriptures say to obey the government. So, hey, you better take your black ass down to the nearest CVS and get juiced up, according to them. Right? I mean, that's a serious question. You ask them that, and then they'll say, oh, well, that part don't apply. It's like, wait a second, how the hell does that part not apply? Look up something called cognitive dissonance. Look that word up. A lot of cats and sit there and talk a lot of shit is what they can do. But then when the facts come out, then that part doesn't want to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? Shalom to everybody who's tuning in right now. Sincere shalom. I see we got Mind of God in the chat. We got this brother, XXX in the chat. Welcome to the show. The one brother said, bro, you need to do Bible study lives every week. Hey, look, man. Well, you come around here, man. We go live every once in a while, man. We do as much as we can, which I'm streaming on the YouTube app right now. So I can't put a link in the chat to let anybody on, because this platform I'm using to stream on does not have it's not made for more than one person. So I'm not using StreamYard at the moment, which I believe, what's that cat? I believe Sacramento said that he was going to go live on his page in a little bit. So Sacramento, I don't know if you're still watching, man, but hey, look, man, as I told you, if you can start that up in, let's say, 15 minutes, I can come over there, man. I'm not going to be on too much tonight because I don't have a power bank with me. So, it is what it is. Okay, he said, give me 30 minutes. Okay, cool. Let me see. God said, we go deep into them skip G's. Yeah, it's true. We go deep into them skip G's. Inside joke. Right, I was watching earlier, man. A lot of y'all might have missed it, but we were doing a stream earlier today on the One Brothers channel, or I should say the One Brothers channel, LOP. Right, he was doing a stream over there, which I didn't. But I mean, I was listening in. I listened to the whole show, and you had some of these cats, come on there, man. I was talking a bunch of nonsense, man. Cats coming on there talking about that we're living under the new covenant, talking about that Well, what else were they talking about? Talking about reincarnations not in the scriptures. Talking about, oh, let me say this. Um, he made a statement. What was the one brother? Swift, I believe the brother's name was. He made a statement that said that the fourth beast is talking about Rome, and I agree with him on that. I do agree with him. If you go to I believe he was quoting what was that, Daniel, the second chapter, talking about the fourth beast. I agree with Swift that the fourth beast is talking about Rome. That's what it's talking about. So when he asked them, nobody knew, right? But he was right. It is talking about Rome. Rome is the fourth beast. But here's the problem, though, is that America is Rome in the days that we're living in. That's why when it went into the history of it, it speaks about the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seven. Right. So the beast that was is the Roman Empire. But then they went down out of power for a period of time. But then later on in the future, they came back into power again by way of America. So he was right when he said that the fourth beast is Rome. He was right on that. Or he was definitely correct on that. But he was going off too, because he was using that to say, well, Rome is Mystery Babylon. That's not true, because Rome today is America. So that's where the disconnect happens. But I did want to comment on that. Let me see. My God said, he said, LOP was outnumbered by a collection of demons. Yeah, man. I mean, hell, they did LOP in, man. That was man. I feel bad for the brother, and I wasn't able to jump on at the moment. But I mean, damn, man, those guys, they did a number on LOP, man. And I'm not hating on LOP. I'm just saying that they cornered him, and he said that LOP said that we're in the new covenant. Right? So 1 minute he's saying that's not true, but then the next second he is saying it. Reminds me of my old friend, Jonathan, right? Rock upon him. 1 minute he'll be there, agreeing with you, right? Agreeing with everything you're talking about, on stream, and then when you get off, he'll be there talking shit about you. And I'm not saying the LOP was doing that, but I'm just saying that when we're on there with him, he'll agree we're not in the new covenant. But then when these cats are on there, if he's, is by himself, then he'll agree with them and say that he is in the new covenant. I don't know what he's doing on that, man. Let me see. My God said, we know the four beast. We just didn't care to dialogue with that dummy. He said he should have booted them once they threatened violence. I mean, hey, man. As I said, it's just, it is what it is, man. That's all I'm gonna say. It just is what it is. With certain guys, man. You just have to, be simplified when you deal with certain guys, man. Right? Just like I was watching the apostles. They were talking about it, man. They were talking about a few weeks back, because I sent them the debate that I had with Tried and Refined, and they went all out and did like 100 videos talking about it. And the Hard made a joke. He was talking about, hey, look, man, when you deal with these guys, you gotta go like easy mode with them. Like 1, 2, what comes after 2, right? And see if they know the answer to that, right? That's how you gotta go with these guys. You gotta go simple, right? You have to be simple when you deal with some of these individuals out here, man. Let me see real quick. Let me just get caught up on these chats real quick. For him to have to escalate to that, you were just saying, right, 'cause having a civil discussion. Now, I don't think there was any type of, disrespectfulness, because I was watching, right? I was watching it. I don't think there was any disrespectful statements made. Yeah, my God said, yeah, we want all the smoke, right? D. Coon, right? That's what D. Coon said. I mean, hell, man, I don't know if you guys saw this, man. What's this cat, right? Vocab Malone. Or as my God said, right? Vocab Magone, an inside joke. Well, that's a good name for him. That's a good name for Vocab. But if you go to his page, just look up on YouTube, Vocab Malone, you'll see his YouTube page. But if you click on it and go through his stuff, he basically ripped off Sakari because he uses their slogan, right? We want smoke. I believe he calls it I want smoke or something like that. But he stole that name from the Sakari. And I was watching, there's one video, man, where D. Coon and Facade actually called into one of his shows. That was, I believe it was a year ago. So it'd be hard to find it now, but yeah, that was a good discussion to watch, man, because they challenged him, and that cat said that he said that the entire world is Babylon. So that guy don't know the scriptures. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That guy's bugging out, man. And that's not even a joke at this point. Let me grab some water real quick. All right. Another, interesting, thing I was, what's the word I'm looking for? I took some time out of the day to watch, some of these, preterist videos, right? I was thinking to myself, that I wonder, like, what are some of their strongest, may I say, proofs or evidences, to support what they're standing behind, right? Saying that, Christ came, you know, thousands of years ago, right? Like 2,000 years ago, when the temple got taken down in 70 AD, they say that Christ returned and fulfilled all the prophecies back then. That's what a lot of these guys are teaching, right? So I was watching one of the videos. I believe I even sent it to the Mind of God, but this one guy was talking about his main evidence was he was talking about the verses where Christ spoke about there be some of you standing here that shall not taste of death till you see the kingdom, coming. And he used that to say, "Oh, we'll see." That proves that all of this had to happen back then, right? Or I go to the one that says that this generation shall not pass till all these things, be fulfilled, right? So we'll go by those and say, "Oh, we'll see." That proves that that Christ returned back then. So as I said, man, when you deal with these guys, man, that you have to go on easy mode. But the truth of the matter, this is a scary thing, or this is a scary thing. But the truth is that the Lord has everybody in a trick bag, right? As Sakari would call it, right? A trick bag. Setting someone up for the trick bag is what they do on their streams when people call in. But with that being said, the scary part is that the Lord is behind the deception, right? And that's one of the big parts that we teach that sets us, apart from these other, so-called Bible teachers out here. I'll bring up one of my favorite verses now, Revelation chapter 2 and verse 2. It says, we have tried them who said they are apostles, but we have found them to be liars. Right, we tried the men who said they are apostles. The word apostle just means a teacher, right? So we tried the men who claim they are teachers, and we found them to be liars, right? So we tried the men who claim that they're there to teach the people the truth, but we have found them to be liars, right? That's a great one. That's one of my personal favorites, right? So these guys into Sakari, right, the ISUPK, this guy, a Captain Tazariak, right, AKA Captain Crunch, which he took the juice, right? He took that yab inside joke. He's basically said, I want to say 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 11 says that the Lord shall send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie, right? So the Lord sent these people strong delusions so that they should believe a lie. Excuse that background noise. You know, I wanted to mention this, man. That music just brought back something to memory. A few days back, on the Thanksgiving evening, before a stream, which was later at night. But so let me say this is actually the evening before Thanksgiving, right? Because obviously everyone's pretty much inside on Thanksgiving, so it was the evening before Thanksgiving, excuse me. So on the evening before Thanksgiving, I had to run out to the what is that area in Pennsylvania? The I think it's called the, was it Allentown or something like that? Had to run to Allentown to get some stuff that we had to get down there. Um, which I can put the name out there because that's a pretty big place around there, man. Um, but yeah, it was going for that area, man. And I mean, the place was absolutely packed, man. I mean, hell, to turn one corner, the line is going to be like 20, 25 minutes long, man. On an average day, it'd be less than 2 minutes of traffic, right? But since it was, the eve of Thanksgiving, it was, 20, 25 minutes just to turn the corner. You know what I'm saying? Um, right, but that just shows you, man, right? That ain't going on in no Vatican City. That ain't going on in no Vatican City. Hell, these cats talking about Vatican's Babylon. Man, these cats are damn joke, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, I'm hoping it's coming through clearer now because someone said that it was cutting out the audio, and I apologize about that. As I said, I'm using mobile data, so sometimes it messes with the connection. But I'm hoping it's more smooth now. But with that being said, dealing with this what is it? This whole, what is it? Omicron or something like that? Omicron. Gotta watch the words I use. Um, but this whole strain that they just found the other day. Now I was watching what's this one Edomite? What's his channel? Full Spectrum Survival. Look that up on YouTube. It's actually very good information that he gives on his page. Right, cat's an Edomite, but he gives good information right on his channel. So I do recommend everybody go watch his stuff. Let me see. But he was talking about, hey, look, man, what they found from the research on this new, strain going around is that it's basically, way worse than the other ones. To put it into simple to understand words, as in it's more easy to get, may I say, attracted to it. And I got to watch the words I use, so that's why I'm not going to use the exact words, but to catch it, if that makes sense, right? A lot easier. Sacramento asked, are you streaming at Walmart? Nah, I got my own internet back, man. But I had to use their internet. Oh, and that brings to mind, it tells you in, I want to say, what is that? I want to say Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, if I'm not mistaken. It says, I know your tribulation and your poverty, and they who say they are Jews and are not, right? But it says, I know your tribulation and your poverty, right? Which, what does the word poverty mean? Or poverty, excuse me, poverty. Okay, well, what does that word mean? For everyone that knows, which I've been doing that, dealing with that my whole life, so I should easily know. But it basically means a lack of money, right? So the scripture says, right, I know your tribulation and your poverty, right? And I know the blasphemy of them who say They are, and they're not talking about these people who are over in Israel today, right? Those are not the real Jews, right? The real, Jews are you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Right? Those are the real Jews, according to the scriptures. Let me see real quick. Yeah, yeah, just like the guy said in the chat. It's like, yeah, man, these guys. No, I mean, it's so easy to cut these false doctrines, man. It's basically like, cutting through cutting a piece of butter with a hot knife, right? Because I don't know if everyone remembers, but back in the day, I want to say what, like 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, there was this big thing going around on YouTube where people would take 1,000-degree knives and would cut through things, right? And they get like millions of views, just like with what's this whole thing with the Mr. Beast Squid Game. Got about 90 million views in like 2 days. Look that up. It's if you go to the YouTube trending section, it's like the second one on there. I was at the first spot for like 2 days, but then it changed under a gaming video now, so now it's the second spot. Very good video, by the way, but I mean it just shows you, man, that a lot of people are just getting entertained as how they're spending their time on here, which ain't a bad thing, of course. And ain't necessarily a bad thing. Let me see. Let me just see these comments real quick. Someone said a good serpent has a live stream for tomorrow or something. Hey, look, I found I was tuning into Good Serpent's live stream the other day, and I called in the first 10 minutes of it, because I was playing something, so I was listening in the background to it, and I caught him cursing on video, right? I caught him cursing, which I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna take a clip from it, and upload it to call him out on it, because I know that we use stronger language, but that's more like a Christian channel, right? So they try to, especially with him, right? You wouldn't expect to have foul language on his channel, right? Coming from him, you wouldn't expect that. So that's a gold clip I found. So I'm gonna have to go find that and videotape that just for fun. Oh man, I remember a few weeks back. I want to say 2 weeks ago, because I have him in a private chat, outside of YouTube. But I played a prank on him. I asked him, have you ever get those photos printed? He was like, oh, well, what do you mean? There's like you ever get them logos printed? And he didn't get the joke, but then I showed him that it was a meme. So then what I did is I took a screenshot of it and I put it on the community post. And he told me to take it down because, it gives him a bad look. Right. So hey, he got memed, if that makes sense. Right. We made a damn meme out of him. Inside joke. Mighty God said, Good Serpent is a certified damn devil demon. Hey, look, man. What's this one character out here? What's this cat? Right, Dreadlord. His name goes by the Southern Israelite. Right, his YouTube page is called the Southern Israelite. Look that guy up. Which, if you want to debate him, he charges $300 an hour for a minimum of 3 hours. So for a 3-hour debate with him, it's gonna cost you $900 for a 3-hour debate with that damn devil demon. And he said that he is the #1 educator in the world. I know there's one point, if you look at the art on his channel, right, when you go to someone's channel, I believe if you're on the computer, it shows, but they can put up art on the page. So in the background, it has a slogan saying, the #1 educator in the world. Man, this guy ain't on no level, man. he's on there talking about, hey, look, he said that a soul doesn't exist, right? That humans don't have souls, is what he was saying. Hey, man, what the hell is this cat talking about? I mean, there's so many scriptures that mention the word soul in it. So how the hell can you say a soul doesn't exist? And then he teaches that Babylon is the Vatican City, and that the real Jews are the people over in Israel today. And that the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites are like a cult, right? That they're not the real Jews. I mean, man, that guy ain't on no level, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But we got to roll up on him one day, man. We're gonna have to all roll up on his page. Which I'm gonna have to go find that. I'm gonna have to do some more research on him. Just like this one character. What's this guy? Nephilim 3. Look that guy up on YouTube. His channel's called Nephilim 3, which I know him from the what is that? He goes on the YouTube page called the Modern Day Debates. Everyone should know what that is. They do good debates on there. But I was watching some of the ones that he done on there. It was very good, right? Very good. He knows a lot of stuff. But then it comes into the whole flat Earth thing, and he didn't want to deal with that. So me and Minigon did a video, and we mentioned him, in the video. So then I emailed, Nephilim 3, said, hey man, we mentioned you in this, give it a watch. And he did, right? He gave it a watch. I was like, oh, well, you guys don't know what's going on. So I was telling him, hey, look, man, click that link, right? Click that link and come on the show and let's have a friendly chat about it. And he didn't want to do it, right? He didn't want to do it. It's like, okay, cool. So by what logic can you sit there and talk, a whole lot of, may I say, smack about what we're saying, but then when we give you the opportunity to hop on the panel to have a friendly discussion about it, he doesn't want to join to talk. It's like, come on, man. What the hell is going on? Let me see. Shalom to King Manny tuning in. Shalom to Awaken Pennsylvania joining in. Right, welcome to the show. Which I don't know if Sacramento is still on here. Hey, Sacramento, are you still on here, man? Are you going to be able to go live in a few minutes, man? Because it's been probably at least 15 minutes. Something like that. Okay, yeah, he said still here, man. But yeah, man, as he said, go live soon, man, because I ain't going to be on too long tonight. But going back to, what I was talking about earlier, man, is, this is a deep truth, right? This is a deep truth to know what the Lord, is behind the deception. Right? That's a deep truth. That's a fact that a lot of these guys don't want to deal with, because I recall that this brother out there, I should say brother, goes by the panel of, Bible Defender, which I like that brother. He's pretty cool. He comes around the page, every once in a while and joins us for a chat. But he mentioned the other day when we had him on, he was saying that, he ran into a Christian, out and about, and the guy had a mask on. So we asked him, like, well, why do you have a mask on, if you don't mind me asking? Then the guy was like, oh, well, to protect myself. And then the brother called him out, because, like, wait a second. Well, wouldn't the Lord have you protected then? And the guy didn't know how to answer that. And then he asked him, well, I should say he told him, do you know what God's behind the deception? Do you know what God's behind everything that's going on? And the brother was like, what do you mean? Like, how can you show me that? Show me that in the scriptures. And then the brother showed him, right? And then the guy got cut, which I don't know the rest of the story. But, I mean, that's usually how it goes, man. But as I said, man, these churches don't know what's going on, man. Right? They have these false idols hanging up, but we all know, right? We all know, because we've all came from the church. At least I have. Speaking for myself, I remember, the churches would have the this white Jesus, pictures, hanging up in the, what's the word I'm looking for? Sanctuaries, right? And then usually they have it in the back for mothers with children. They have a place where they can go sit, right? If their children's acting up, so the rest of the people don't have to hear the child acting up, but they have in the room, there's speakers in there so they can still hear the pastor, teaching. Where I would usually sit back there when I went to the one church. What was it, the Winter Haven Church, which is where I met Rock Upon him at, where we met, where we used to, talk, back in the day. I'm talking, 6, 7 years ago now, or 6, 7 years ago, something like that. But yeah, man, as I said, it's one of those guys, man. I remember there's one guy that my mom used to hang out there. They, used to go over to the guy's house with his, family there, and they would, do their fellowship, as they call it. And that guy ended up, nearly dying due to this, whole Corolla circumstance, right? He ended up getting that Corolla and almost passing away. This was like, I want to say 5 months ago or something like that. But yeah, man, it's, which I ain't laughing at that. I'm just saying that, it just shows you, man, right? The Lord is behind the deception, right? And that's what most people don't understand, right? That part's just not understood. But that's a very important truth that you need to understand, man. Okay, that's a very important truth. Okay, is that God is behind the deception, right? God is behind the good. God is behind the evil. Right? That is a very important, truth. Okay, that's a very important thing to know. And I guarantee you, if you go and ask, what's this individual? Go ask Russian vids that question and see what he'll tell you. It's like, oh, I don't know, maybe. Right? Ask them where hell is in the Bible. Right? Ask them these questions. They don't know the answers to it. Might have got to put up a comment and said, Yahweh invented the bald earth deception, and that's right. That's true. Right? That is correct. That the Most High created all the deceptions. Right? All the deception in the world is from the Most High, man. All right? And that's just a fact. Right? Anybody that can't get it, well, then they can't get it. It's just that simple, man. Scriptures speak about in order to enter into the kingdom of heaven, one must become as a little child. And now, what does that mean? Does that literally mean that you have to physically become like a child that's 2 feet tall? Of course not. Just like when you go to what is that, John chapter 3, a man asked Yahushua about, well, how can a man be born again? And basically, Christ was telling him, unless you be, born again, you're not going to enter the kingdom. So the man asked, well, how the hell can a man be born again? Can he enter into his mother's womb for a second time and be born and born into the world, excuse me. And, the Lord went on to explain that it's a spiritual thing, right? It's spiritual. And today it's not talking about being baptized with water. That's not what it is in these times now, because if you remember, John the Baptist told the people, I baptize you with water, but there comes one after me. They shall baptize you with fire, is what he told the people. So understanding that, does that literally mean that Christ is going to baptize a believer by burning him with real fire? Of course not. But what it means is that you're going to have to go through, certain trials. Okay, you're going to have to go through certain, infirmities. Okay, and if you go to, I want to say Ephesians, the 6th chapter, starting at verse 11 on down, it speaks about, putting on, the armor plates and, the shield and helmet of the Most High, so that you'll be able to withstand, the fiery darts of the devil, man. And is that literal? Is that literally body armor and literal, fire arrows being shot at you? And the answer is no. But what it represents is that, you're going to have to, catch certain, infirmities, in this walk of ours, man. Right? Hey, look, a lot of guys can talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk. And that's a good name for a video, man. Right? A lot of guys can talk the talk, but not a lot can walk the walk. That's a good one. Right? A lot of guys can sit there and talk, act like they're on a level. But then when a test is presented, that's when a lot of guys fall away. And it goes into this, if you read Matthew the 13th chapter, when it gives the parable about the how the seed, or it represents the word. For some people, they heard it and they received it with joy. But it says that when persecution arose because of the word, they ended up putting it to the side and going back into the world. And another group, it speaks about, they heard the word and they were starting to grow in it. But then when when they were presented with the riches and the wealth of this world, they basically got choked out by it and put this truth behind them. Right? And then it speaks about how some, took this truth and they ran with it, right? It speaks about how the seeds fell on good ground, right? That's another parable in the same chapter. That's a good chapter. I'm going to have to go back and reread that chapter again tonight, man. That's a good chapter. That's a deep chapter, man. Right? But that's a good example, man. I can think of a lot of good, what's the word I'm looking for? Examples to use. I'll give a good example, Rock Upon Him. But Rock Upon Him, he used to have a YouTube channel that had 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers, man. 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers. That's a lot. That's a lot of people, man. Right? Because when he used to do live streams, he used to have 400 or 500 people watching at a time, man. When I used to go on there with him, he used to have 400 or 500 people listening at one time, interacting on the comment board. Right, so he was a big YouTuber back then, man. 600, 700. Excuse me, 6,000, 7,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people. For what we talk about, that is. And I put the video in the the community center on my page. He did a few videos with the Vigilant Christian Mario, which is what the most popular Christian YouTuber ever. Right, so that shows that he had some popularity, man. Right, among the Christians. Right, but what happened was, he ended up, over time, he got pulled away. Right, so what is he doing now? Here we are. Let's fast forward into the future. About 5 years. And see where he's at now. So 5 years ago, he was on there doing videos and streams every single day. But here we are now. If you go to his page, all he's doing on there is making videos about the latest update to what's that game? Resident Evil. Right, that's all he's on there talking about now, man. So that shows you that he lost the oil, man. Right, he lost that knowledge. And I don't wish that on the brother, even though he's going off with his teaching. I don't wish that on him, not at all, because he's an Israelite. Let me hit the comments. Shalom to Bible Defender. Thanks for joining in. Which, as I said, I can't put a link in the chat for anyone to join because I'm using a different platform to stream on tonight that was only equipped for one person. So I apologize about that. Let me see real quick. Mighty God said it does technically mean that it speaks of reincarnation. I'm not sure what he's referring to. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's referring to on that. Oh, and here's another thing, man. I seen that Mighty God's on there talking about. Every day he has a new sequence, right? A new sequence video. It's like, damn, man. I mean, does every chapter in the Bible have a sequence? That's what it seems like. So he'll take chapters that already happened and say, oh, we'll see. The sequence is in this one as well. I mean, hell, I won't be surprised if he says that. What is that? If you go to Genesis, the 19th chapter, dealing with Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mighty God says, oh, we'll see. Well, the sequence of the end time is in that too. It's like, well, wait a second, that already happened. That's history. Meaning it already happened. But he'll find a way to probably find the sequence in it. I'm not saying he did, but I wouldn't put it past him to do that. You know what I'm saying? Wait a second. Let me read a comment real quick. Mighty God said, he said, that has the sequence in it as well. Wait a second. So you're telling me a historical event dealing with Sodom and Gomorrah being destroyed in Genesis chapter 19, that has the end time sequence of it? Man, as I said, man, a lot of these cats be tripping, man. And I'm not hating on the brother. I'm just saying, it's like, damn, man, where are you getting that from? That's historical fact. That already happened. I'll give another example. If you go to, what is that? If you go to Joshua chapter 6, I believe it's Joshua the 6th chapter, dealing with when the Israelites took down the walls of Jericho, I wouldn't be surprised if he went in there and said, oh, we'll see. Well, the sequence is in this too. It's like, well, wait a second, but this is history. This already happened. So how could there be an end time sequence in this if this already happened? And it's not like, I'll give an example. Joshua 6 is not like Jeremiah, because Jeremiah, we can clearly see, has certain parts talking about the past, but it has certain parts talking about the future. So it's not like one of those, Genesis 19 and Joshua, the 6th chapter. Those are historical events that happened, right? If you clearly read the story, you can tell that there's no sequence involved in that. And I challenge Mighty God to go read those and make a sequence video about it, if you can find it, because it's not in there. Just to put that little challenge out there. Let me see. Mighty God said, he said, yes, sir, Yahweh is foreshadowing the last days with many of his not Satan for you. Something that happened in history. Let me give you another example. If you go to, what is that? If you go to, let's say Genesis, the 7th chapter, the 8th chapter, and the 9th chapter, dealing with the, the story of Noah's Ark. You can start at the 6th chapter. But I want to focus on the last 3 that I mentioned. Okay, if you read that, it's just telling you what happened. So you can't read that and say, oh, well, here's the sequence in that. It's like, well, wait a second. It's just telling you a story of something that happened. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. That would be, because they'll say it's twofold right there, but you can't see it. You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous. Mighty God said, the 7 days of creation also mirror the 7 plagues in the wrath of God. Hey man, you're gonna have to do a video on that, man, because now you're now you're doing too much. Now you're doing too much. And that's not even a Rooney McNugget joke, inside joke. Like, hey guys, guess that's it. Yeah, now, as I said, man, you guys are looking too deep, right? Some of you are looking too deep. That's why you're getting all mixed up, man. The guys are looking too deep. That's why they're getting all confused. So I'm not hating on this brother, but I'm just saying that sometimes guys are looking a little bit too deep, man, when they don't need to do so. Let me see. Mighty God said, no new thing under the sun. Okay, I agree with that. It's like, okay, but let me ask you a question. What about going by that? Do you then agree that there was a mark of the beast then back then? Because you said there's no new thing under the sun. So was there a mark of the beast back then? What about, I'll give an example. If you read about, there's certain scriptures that that the Most High says, I'll show you things, before they spring forth, I tell you of them, right? Things that are coming in the future, before they spring forth, I'll tell you of them, so that when you see them, you'll remember that I told you of them, right? So those things weren't there in the past, such as the mark of the beast and Mystery Babylon. They weren't there in the past. Now, the landmass of America has always been there, but it wasn't called, America back then. The landmass has always been there. That's true. I'll give an example. Throughout history, this landmass was called Tarshish, right? Tarshish, and that's where King Solomon sent his men to get certain goods for his empire. That's what they called America back then. And then in the Apocrypha, it refers to America as Arsareth, right? Arsareth is America. That's how the Native Americans got over here. They came over here on ships, that they made. And you can read the whole story, right? But they came over here to follow the laws of God, right? Those were the Native Americans that the Europeans found over here when they crossed the seas and supposedly found this new land. Right? Those are the people who they stumble across. Those Native Americans are the Jews of the Bible, right? Gad and Reuben. Let me see. Shalom to all the brothers tuning in. Shalom. Mighty God said, Manny is a moron. Hey, look, man, I like King Manny. That brother is cool. So, I'm going to drop this. I'm going to end the video here. And you guys can go join Sacramento's live stream. I'm going to go on there and talk with him. I'm going to go click that link and join him. So if anybody wants to go chat over there, you can talk with End Time Teacher over on Sacramento Truth Movement's page. Just go on Google, look up Sacramento Truth Movement, and then go to the channels and you'll see it. Or click live, right? Sacramento Truth Movement, then click live and it will pop up on the screen. So I'll see y'all over there then. I'm gonna go join that brother. Let me see. But anyway, I'm gonna call that the video there. If anybody made it this far into the video after the stream, go ahead and put hashtag. Let's see. Go ahead and put hashtag King in the comment section. That's hashtag King in the comment section down below. But anyway, I'm gonna say shalom.